Right into it, huh? We're starting off today with some best of 3 pick ban. We're going to start with my own preferred lineup or lineup of decks that I enjoy that meet the requirements. So again, for people that haven't been keeping up, the requirements for best of 3 pick ban is your decks cannot have any overlapping champions, and you cannot have the exact same region combination. So for example, I'm going to be playing 2 Freljord decks. I'm going to be playing Ashe Kench and Feel the Elusives, but they have different champions between them. So I can have a region that repeats between my decks, but I can't have like 2 Bilgewater Freljord decks, for example. I'm not going to go super in-depth on deck techs with these. Most of these are decks that, in fact, all 3 of these decks are decks that you can find up on my website and my YouTube channel with full deck techs. So we're going to be playing the Ashe Kench deck for one of my lineup. We're going to be playing the Feel the Elusives, Teemo, Ezreal, Feel the Rush deck for the second. And then for the third, we are going to play some Leona Shyvana, which is the mid-range Shyvana deck that I've been enjoying. So let's go ahead and dive on into some gauntlets and see how they go. So the way the gauntlets work, you submit the 3 decks with the restriction that I talked about, and then you see your opponent's 3 decks at the start of the round. And then you ban one of their decks, they ban one of your decks, and then you each have to win a game with your remaining 2 decks to win the set. Someone commented on the Horizon Zero Dawn playthrough video that Ted Farron seems like he's a modern day, or like he's the version of that game's Elon Musk, and that's like sounds unsettlingly true. Opponent playing a bit of a brew here. I think I'm going to ban this because this seems the most controlling of their lineups, but opponent's a little bit all over the place here, not really playing meta decks, so start with Ashe Kench, I think. One of the things to note about the gauntlets is that they, oh my gosh. Oh, this is super embarrassing. Well, someone commented on War Mother's call earlier, and I just assumed they misspoke. I definitely intended this to be a copy of Feel the Rush, but it's a War Mother's call, so here we are. I definitely wanted to try out Feel the Rush in this. I was putting decks together this afternoon beforehand, and I must have misclicked there.
I'll do my best.
I don't know if an idea or theme for best of 3 gauntlets, like 3 aggro decks or 3 go hard decks. No, that would be fine, Dude Light, so long as the theme is something workable.
Nothing escapes my watch.
Sorry. Before I noticed my misclick, what I was saying about the gauntlets is that unlike, you know, ranked matchmaking, there's no MMR-based matchmaking for this, right? So especially in your first couple of matches, you often tend to find people playing just like kind of cards they own style decks as opposed to less meta things is pretty common.
Signal fires.
Just do this, keep our life total high. Opponent's deck could be aggressive. I don't know, it's kind of all over the place. Let's get Ashe down leveling up here.
Faster than my arrow? I think not.
Cards they own like War Mother's Call, exactly.
Show me a target.
I think I'm okay attacking this in if they want to like block plus like sharp sight. That's fine with me. Sir Calbino, thank you for the 2/3 view. I really appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around.
Finally!
I deal double damage to the Nexus, sure. I'm going to go ahead and play Babbling Bird out here as a blocker. This allows me to draw an Ashe. Babbling Bird guarantees draws Ashe in this deck every time. She's the only card that has 4 or more attack, or 5 or more attack.
I'll turn the tide. These are our lands.
And do this, I think. Just get decent blocks. Troll Chant's really good for that reason. Can swing multiple combats in your favor. And then, I was gonna say easy open on attacks, but do I even need to do that? I could just play Ice Veil Archer, right? And then if they deploy a second unit, Ashe will attack and frostbite the second unit. War Mothers is the we have feel the rush at home. It really is. To be fair, the War Mother's call / feel the rush that I intended it to be is basically a this helps us in the control matchup slot. And like, War Mother's call is still really good in the control matchup. It's just much less good against aggro and mid-range. So, it is just a one of, so.
Demacian steel protects me. No closer.
If they have a pump spell for this, I can flash freeze it again. Looks like they do not. We'll just go to 6.
Smell that? A bite's a cooking.
Kench is all about them frozen meals. So one thing Kench does really well in this archetype, so obviously he gets struck by the thing he's eating, but we have all these various frostbite effects, which allow Kench to eat his frozen meals and not take any damage. We'll see what they do. I probably want to deploy Rhyme Tusk Shaman this turn, but what they play out could dictate that too. I might need to flash freeze something here. Yeah, and if I frostbite this, it means that Ashe will get to level next turn, which is nice. We are just starting Quack. I've been starting a little bit later on the weekends because I didn't want to overlap the EU Masters tournament. So I've been watching that in the mornings.
Appetizers are brilliant.
Nah, I've got Jet up. It's not a big deal. Alright, we just try and push lethal here, right? So, like, frostbite you, attack, frostbite your last one, nothing you have can block.
Swiftly now.
Ashe's level note here says enemies with 0 power can't block, so they could pump spell something here, but even if they do, they need to block multiple things, right? They need multiple pumps. Afternoon, Cody.
What a commendable achievement.
Alright, and now again, for people that are new to the format, my opponent can choose to play either of their 2 decks. Both of their decks are going to have to beat my Field the Elusives deck. If you haven't seen this deck before, it was really sweet last time we played it. It's our second time playing it on stream. It's an aggressive Ezreal deck that has some Field the Rushes at the top end, so that way you can put 20 power worth of elusive stuff into play as a combo finish if your aggressive mid-range plan doesn't come to fruition. Are we having some connection issues? Y'all still see me, right? We had some issues Friday night, but I thought it was just a DNS issue, and it looked like it had been sorted. Okay. Undermined. Thanks for the quarter of a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Well, that's awkward. Friday, the whole Eastern U.S. went on. Okay, so it was a regional issue then on Friday. Got it. Okay, I'm gonna kick the client real quick here. Kick the client. Don't kick the client. you plan to talk about how to prep for a tournament? I mean, playing games and playing your matchups is the best way to prep for a tournament. My one piece of advice that I think isn't necessarily abundantly clear. Nah, it's definitely not the firewall thing, Silence. The issue Friday was not the issue the person in chat was talking about. Also, I don't think I toggled the firewall back on, but the issue Friday was a regional issue. Someone in chat just said the whole eastern US went down for a bit. Because, like, my Discord and stuff disconnected too. And Diablo was having issues for Christian on Friday when she was playing as well. I saw someone linked it. I didn't watch it myself. I mean, I know how expensive Arena is, and I'm sure the Arena video has a bunch of WotC apologists in the comments talking about how it's actually free to play and the price doesn't matter, and how Seth is stupid for spending money on the game. Because that's how those discussions always go. One of my big comments on tournament prep is don't just play random ladder matches. Ideally, you should find another person that you know is a reasonable Runeterra player and, like, play specific matchups and learn the ins and outs of those matchups. While the ladder is good for just getting in repetition and learning the basics of, like, the straightforward parts of your deck, learning the ins and outs of specific matchups is where higher level tournament play comes in. Well, I think we might have to take an L for the first round of this gauntlet. It's unfortunate. Oh, weird. VR Bob is gifting 100 subs to the channel. Bobo. Ranting Bob, you, Good afternoon, Bob. Good morning on the left coast. That's way too close to 1,500 for my taste. I appreciate the support, Bob. I really do. Well, I wonder, so it gave us the win for that. So I wonder if it bugged because my opponent conceded, or if we both simultaneously had disconnect issues and it gave us the win. I would feel bad if that's the case. I don't know. There's no way to tell. Don't use your speech for evil. Accurate. Never not banning Lee Sin. Happy to play against the aggro decks. I assume they're gonna ban Kench. Kench tends to be good against aggressive decks. Mutail, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Hope you're having a wonderful afternoon wherever you're at. Yep, that's expected. And then I think I am going to start with... I think either of these decks actually have decent matchups into these two. So I feel like our lineup is 3 mid-range decks. So I think we have a very reasonable start there. I'm only 1/100th as good as Bob. I still appreciate it. Forever. I wouldn't be here without the support of folks like you and Bob. So thanks for keeping me around. Although my on-screen ticker seems to be taking a hot second to catch up. Jinx, Draven, Teemo. So I'm going to mulligan these flash freezes. You want these for the matchups that have larger units, usually like the other Feel the Rush decks. Definitely cheap units and interaction here is good. And honestly, not because we're attacking on odds, not having a turn 2 play isn't that big of a deal, because we can go Omen Hawk on 1, bank 2 mana on 2, play Ezreal, attack, play Mystic Shot on 3, so These two together are a curveball on their own, which is great. Yeah, I think so, Warrior. This deck felt very reasonable last time we played it. I think just having cheap things like this that play to the board are good against the aggressive decks. It's also important to remember, like, Ezreal's just a good card on his own, so, like, it's not like I'm playing Ezreal just because 2 Elusives are good in terms of, like, being a pseudo combo. Like, I'm playing the Ezreal because he's just, like, a good card. So we're going to have that curve that I talked about a second ago here, where we're going to get to go bank the spell mana here.
Time for a true display
Drop
of skill.
easy. Yeah, last time we played this deck, we had a pretty good mix of both feel the rush kills and just like fair mid-range Ezreal kills. So they could have something that they want to play out here after I Mystic Shot, but we're definitely far enough behind on board at the moment that I need to just, like, use my Mystic Shot and get my value here. If they don't open attacks next turn, I get to Sentry into Troll Chant. If they do open attacks, I have Get Excited here, which is nice. And Troll Chant too, I suppose. Wow, no turn 3 plays. No 3 mana plays. Really good for us. Second Feel the Rush is not really what we're looking for here. We did, Hamblin. In fact, I posted one highlight from it. I'm going to have a second highlight that's going to publish tomorrow afternoon. That's going to, what's the word I'm searching for? That's going to showcase some more of the final battle.
Obstacle, meet gauntlet.
I think I just want to keep my life total high here. Obviously, this is putting Ezreal to 2, so he could take a deal 2, but...
These old eyes
For people that are new to the channel or confused why people are asking about timeouts, it's kind of a joke on this channel.
No way.
That's super unfortunate. Jiminy, thank you for the 12 entire months of support. I appreciate the year. Get your sword to go with that shield. Thanks for keeping me around. And they took the hit there, so that gets us our Wolf Rider. I mean, we know what we're discarding to get excited now, right?
Tonight, Barg.
That's actually a very good draw. It blocks these elusives.
Look out for reapers.
Obviously, what's it called? A Static Shock would have been the best draw, but beggars can't be choosers. Get excited, bin vision. Yep. Down to 6 is pretty low here. Domestick Wolf, thank you very much for the brand new tier 1 sub. I really appreciate that. There's a lot of great people that make a lot of great stuff here on Twitch. Thanks for supporting my content this month.
What science without a little risk?
Oh, their last card is like always this or Jinx. Really unfortunate, really unfortunate draws here for us. The fact that we found all of these, then they had the vision reach into an augmented experimenter here. Yeah, I agree. Maybe this flash freeze lets us survive to steal with Feel the Rush, but we're definitely behind here. We really want to draw another flash freeze or a Mystic Shot or something like that next turn. So that way we can we can have the best chance to not just die in combat. We're technically not dead on board, but we're dead to a stiff breeze. Alright, now we're dead on board. It is a lot of battles, waterfalls. Thank you for the 36 months. Really appreciate it. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Okay, so now both of our decks have to beat scouts. Let's start here, might as well. Knacker, thank you for the 19 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Good afternoon. Yeah, they're... When you put the good cards in your deck to draw them, right? What? Well, tell him not to do that. If he does it again, tell your mom. Keep a troll chant against scouts. So Runeterra, good afternoon. Attacking on evens with Wolf Rider is nice. Especially with Teemo here. One of the nice things about Wolf Rider in this deck is both Teemo and Ezreal. Someone asked about Ezreal earlier, and one of the reasons Ezreal's nice in this deck too is because of Wolf Rider. So Wolf Rider gives us the ability, or the Elusives gives us the ability to consistently trigger this early. RTFC means read the freaking card. Pass here with Troll Chant. I don't think I really need to Thermo Beam this. I can potentially beam something bigger down the line. How relevant is going first/second in this game? Runeterra has the best play draw balance of any card game I have ever played year to date. In fact, there are certain draws out of particular decks and certain decks in general that prefer going second. For example, this deck that we're playing right now, I talked about how we're attacking on the even costs is good for us, like with this Wolf Rider here. So because we went second, or because we're attacking on evens here, it's ideal for us, because now I get to trigger Plunder by attacking here and then play this Wolf Rider out. Runeterra, to me, genuinely feels like someone asked themselves the question, how do we fix all these other things we hate about other card games, such as, you know, play draw not being particularly balanced? Was kind of hoping they'd draw a Mushroom there so we could Wolf Rider again this turn. Alas.
No prey, no pay.
Huh? Think I'm gonna do this. So, Wump is actually a decent draw here, because Teemo has put 10 Puff Caps into their deck, so Wump is going to let me level Teemo, which means when they attack and challenge him here, Teemo will trade with this. So normally Misfortune's trigger, oh, are they going to try and trade with that instead? Yeah, they're trying to decide, do they want to trade with my 4-3 or do they want to trade with my Teemo? You got to figure out what they're afraid of.
Think they can see me?
Think they can see me? I think they can, Teemo. Duck! Duck, Teemo, get down!
In the morning.
How long will this format last for? The best of 3 pick ban gauntlets last from Friday afternoon till Monday night. Splitting the field rushes with Progress Day could be something worth exploring.
Another day in the field.
So, leveled Teemo here, instead of planting 5 puff caps, he doubles the puff caps in their deck. Which is nice.
The smells, on the other hand.
I love to smell mushrooms in the morning.
So let's put 5 more puff caps in their deck, and then hopefully hit them with this. They could have a sharp sight here. And if they have sharp sight, I'm probably going to flash freeze to keep my Teemo alive. So we hit them there. And then they have 40 puff caps in their deck, so every time they draw a card with a puff cap in it, attached to it, they're going to take a damage. Yep. Just gonna pass here. We're gonna flash freeze the bird.
Just like hunting thresher geese.
Huh, am I flash freezing the bird now? Since they hooked this, I think I'm just letting this happen, and then I'm playing another Wolf Rider out. Maybe that's the play.
You'll pay. Smell that barg? Fear. Reavers, sound the alarm. Scouting ahead.
I think I've heard that interaction before. The Reavers are here, chat. They're coming for you.
Rip their flesh.
So, Misfortune is leveling next turn, which is terrifying. Would really want to draw, like, Get Excited here. Feel the Rush would also be good to kill them the following turn. Leveled Misfortune deals 3 to everything on attack, which is really good. We'll see what else they have to play out here, but
Time to get rowdy.
I think we're just flash freezing this.
All eyes on me.
And then I think we want to go into next turn banking spell mana here. So that way, I want to go into next turn banking spell mana, so if we peel a Feel the Rush, we can cast it.
Blazing.
They didn't draw a puff cap this turn. They were 40. They have a rally. Well, we can no longer Feel the Rush next turn.
I suppose.
There's no point in blocking because this just kills my blocker.
I'll scout ahead.
Even with a little bit of... Did they just miss on a puff cap again?
How you doing?
Just trying to help.
Come back next.
Safeguard our citizens.
Sometimes them's the beats, chat. Sometimes them's the beats. Why not the face? Because it doesn't matter. They're not about to draw 10 puff caps on a card, chat.
Here we go.
The old 40 puff caps on 30 cards. Opponent draws 1 and 3 cards. I mean, like, even if we ran close to average there, like, we probably still die, right? I'm gonna ban there. What's likely their controlling deck? All right, come on, Feel the Elusives. I believe in you. And remember, if we win this next match, that loss we just had is basically deleted. BO3 stands for best of threes, and Toth. Mulligan the Rummage. I've got the chat up, so we don't really need a command. We could just talk about it. Keeping Wolf Rider. We're attacking on evens. We're playing mono target here, huh? A good spread of champions.
See the Devastian border from here. In Avarosa's name.
Ezreal is lovely. Gets us set up for Wolf Rider next turn.
Sunlight guide you, my brethren.
The world's a big place. Let's see all of it.
Devotion through battle.
Proactive Pale Cascade there is interesting. Opponent may be a little bit inexperienced here. So, I think I'm actually gonna block plus Thermo Beam this, so that way I can connect with Ezreal next turn. Because if they have something like a Hush, they can prevent us from hitting with this potentially. Well, I guess I have 2 units, so maybe that's not something to worry about. It's a little bit of an aggressive use of this, but I really want to try and connect with Wolf Rider next turn, so we can play Wolf Rider with Plunder next turn. Yeah, they have cards like Hush, Rothan.
It's not bragging if you can back it up. Can't stop me.
And we'll give up our free Mystic Shot this turn, so that way we can get Wolf Rider down with the Plunder.
Ours is the one true light.
Get our extra mana crystal here, mana gem. This Mystic Shot can deal with this. Wolf Rider can trade here, which is nice. It's not a terrible pickup either. We can do this into this and then this into here. URSD and Yusu, thank you for the new follows. Welcome to Oglandia. 2 different Dargans. It's a little scary. Well, I guess there's no Orion Soul in their deck, huh? It's a little less scary. This is Hello Mob.
Firing.
We're currently 1-1. I don't think I want to Troll Chant to save this. I think I'm just gonna take this hit and then we'll Thermo Beam here.
I don't miss.
We're just gonna get our target in here and mark a little bit of damage on here.
Charge.
So we can feel the rush on our next turn. This levels Ezreal, right? So let's get this in.
They don't know what they're up against.
I can see Russia from my house too. Are you in Russia? Yes. Oh, Twitch chat. Oh, Twitch chat.
May our light shine forever.
Okay, so I notably do not want to Thermo Beam this turn. I also don't really want to Progress Stay. If I'm not beaming and I'm not Progress Staying this turn, is it silly to just Rummage? I kind of think I want to just Rummage and see what we find.
know you're thinking and stuff, but could you maybe...
Warm hearts and hot soup.
Yeah, while I respect that other languages exist, I ask that people do please stick to English in chat. I don't want to be responsible for people posting things in other languages that are offensive or obnoxious or rude, so...
Embrace the light. Whatever the face your heretic.
I've carved meat bigger than you.
Burst speed Ezreal spells that deal 2 damage. Yeah, no worries. I'm sure the people in chat weren't being any of those things I just said. Just a note for in general. And Feel the Rush is good in our deck here because it's a spell that deals 1 damage with Ezreal when you cast it.
Sounds dangerous. I'm in. Easy. Like my name.
Feel the Rush would have been good enough if it didn't deal the 1 damage. Exactly, I agree. That strong Ezreal synergy is a big part of why we're playing it. So again, for those just joining us, if you're not familiar with Runeterra's best of 3 pick ban format, these 2 decks got banned. We won a game with our deck in the middle, so now our opponent has to beat our remaining deck with both of their remaining decks, or if we win 1 of the next 2 games, we win the match. Opponent is playing their Targon deck again, however, they could have elected to play their other deck, but they're going to have to play their Targon deck at some point. Huh. This is actually just pretty good, right? We've got Lieutenant with the Dragon, we've got another Daybreak with Leona, and we've got like a 2, 3, 4, 5 curve here. Okay, nice. Yeah, depending on what they do here, we might want to lead on... Yeah, I think we lead on Shield Bearer now, right? Just try and curve out with Daybreak stuff. I think I'm okay with this trade.
Heretics.
Yeah, I believe standard is what they refer to their base constructed format as. Are these challengers to keep the board in check? I think I'm kind of into the Golden Sister. They had Nightfall Elusives last game, so having an Elusive to block seems fine. I guess Tarek dies to the deal 4 though. Leona doesn't though.
Calm mind and open heart greet the night.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see. There's a lot of different directions that Runeterra could take their format structures. And I'm interested to see what they do with regards to a potential rotation or not. Feels like there's a couple different directions they could go with that. Just gonna drop Screeching Dragon here and just kind of pummel their board. This will be a pretty challenging turn for the opponent. We'll see how they navigate it.
Let my stars guide all travelers on.
I don't think rotations are inherently a bad thing. I think a lot of the issue, so at a start, there's not going to be a rotation until the earliest a rotation is going to happen is likely February 2022, because I imagine they're going to want to get all 10 regions into the game, and we won't have the last set with the last region until December of 2021. So the next set release after December of 2021 would be February 2022.
Daylight star will rule the skies.
This is Elfanda. Yeah, and the other thing too is, like, I think the reason why a lot of people are so opposed to rotations and hate rotations so much rightfully in other card games is in large part due to the fact how predatory those other card games are and how consumer unfriendly they are when it comes to getting cards. So I think the fact that they haven't announced any of that, Kook, so we don't know any of those details yet. And I think there's a chance that they don't even have all those details worked out yet. So, like, there's two reasons rotations suck in other games. One is because those games tend to be predatory and difficult to acquire cards in. Runeterra doesn't do that. And two, rotations tend to suck in other games because the non-rotating format with the bigger card pool doesn't end up getting adequate support. So, Runeterra already has the monetization down in a way that makes it not a big deal in terms of that. Oh, I should position this first, right? Because of lifesteal. And then on top of that, Runeterra can also just properly support whatever their non-rotating format is going to be. Sure, yeah, and Runeterra can definitely innovate in terms of what the rotations are too. So, like, Extras in chat has one of many ideas that could work where you don't rotate everything, but, like, different champions are legal in different formats. There's, like, different versions of Jinx or stuff like that. So, like, there's a lot of things they can do. I think a lot of people just have it ground into their head that rotation equal bad, coming from games like Hearthstone and Magic that are very consumer unfriendly and predatory. And I think Runeterra can have a rotation style thing that still ends up being very good.
Daylight warms the heart and lights the way. Behold the divine power of the sun!
I think we just Priestess here over Priestess. Do I even care? Yeah, I think I do.
Bask in her radiant blessing.
The stun's there, Elusive.
The sun's splendor revealed.
They've teased the way that they're going to rotate cards. Can you please cite a source on that? That's a very bold claim that I'd prefer a first-hand Riot accounting of what they plan to do, because I have not seen that. And I tend to try and stay up to date on Runeterra news. So if you could please share your source in chat, that'd be appreciated. But you're literally the first person I've heard imply that they've said anything about how they intend to rotate things. I'm inclined to believe that you are incorrect, unless they, like, just did it. I'll take the Radiant Stars. Already have a falling comment.
Sunlight burns in our weapons.
So this pumps up our squad and puts 2 stun triggers on the stack from Leona here. Sure, but hopefully you can understand how, like, what you've just described there is basically hearsay. I'd prefer to shy away from that. Sure, yeah, exactly. That's the last I heard. The last I heard, Riot wasn't even certain how they wanted to handle their rotation. So, like... One morning light deserves another, huh?
Behold the sun's holy light.
I don't know, I kind of expect them not to have 150 champions in the game before they discuss rotation. I feel like my gut says it'll probably come up before they get to that point. Cave Core, thank you very much for the 19 months. I really appreciate that. I wouldn't be here without the support of folks like you day in and day out, so thanks for keeping me around.
Deadly paths, just another day in Targon.
Just another day in Targon.
Stand and fight. Believe or burn.
Must we fight?
I think we're in a fine
Touch
spot.
my flock.
They're like pretty far behind, right?
Have faith, brothers.
Magic Venorek. So I stream full time here on Twitch. I've been doing full time content for the better part of the last 3 years now. Been streaming in total for like 6 or 7 years, and prior to November, I did Magic the Gathering full time. Runeterra has easily replaced Magic as my preferred card game.
Specimen without wings before.
Probably not a draft video. I did exclusively constructed in Magic, like I do exclusively constructed here.
I bow to no one.
Yeah, Sharpsight's real good here.
We were two.
I was one of the larger Magic the Gathering streamers when I was doing that, though. It was usually anywhere from top 3 to top 5 at any given point over the last few years, depending on what metrics you measured by.
Got a lot to learn.
What did the stars reveal, Mother Moon?
Lamatama, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Welcome to Hoaglandia.
Stay strong.
Do we just smash them here? I kind of want to just smash them here. This technically lets them trade Leona here, but I think I'm fine with that, right? I've got written in the stars. We're a bit behind on cards. That's fine. We're super far ahead on board. Like, the number of cards in hands don't really matter. But like, they're at 14 already, so it doesn't matter. Oh, you're saying I could have killed them if I put the lifesteal last? Yeah, you're right. No, that's not true, right? Because they would have only taken 9. Yeah, it didn't matter. They were 14.
I make shepherding look easy. You must have some unique insight into dragons.
Most are cruel, vicious, and deadly.
Read. And again, like, the opponent is up on cards in hand, but their regions don't really have mass removal effects. Even if they did, this has Spell Shield. And remember, this is a draw too, so like, we're in a pretty good spot regardless.
Our sun will not set today.
One thing to note about the way our deck is constructed, the only 2 actual dragons my deck is playing are Screeching Dragon and Shyvana, so that draw 2 is always guaranteed to draw me one of each of these, assuming there are still copies left in my deck. It's so rude. That's fine. Arazef, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. Thanks everybody for dropping in today. Picked up a bunch of new followers, and I appreciate all of y'all. Since you're new to the channel, I'm here doing Runeterra content. Usually I do somewhere between like 20 to 25 hours of Runeterra content per week, focused primarily on Constructed. This best of 3 format, as the stream title would imply, is definitely my favorite. We also do some laddering as well. I also have a YouTube channel, if you enjoy the feel and the range of decks that we play here, that has a deck highlight on it every single day. It's usually more off-meta decks, as well as full stream replays as well. Alright, so we got our second win, and again, the way these gauntlets works, that loss we took in between the first and the second is basically wiped away. You get lost forgiveness on the middle here. Queue up for the next one here. Knight Prime, welcome to Hoaglandia. Jack C. Stinson, welcome, welcome. Like it is, thank you for the 13 months. It has been a hot second. Hope you're staying safe out there. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Alright, what do we want to ban here? I think I want to ban their Oriensol deck. A lot of my decks are pretty mid-rangey, and this is likely to go over the top of them. Start with Ashe Kench. Eat some frozen meals, huh? Here's F. Thanks for the Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month and keeping me in play. Why Shyv plus Leona instead of Orion plus Leona? Because I want to play a more aggressive deck. I think going as large as Oriensol is largely unnecessary. I keep Omen Hawk on 1 always. I don't know that Hired Gun's particularly useful in this matchup. A lot of other things are bigger. Although I guess Hired Gun lines up okay with Ashe. Yeah, I agree. I've been playing Runeterra consistently since June, and this current format is easily my favorite Runeterra format we've had since I started playing. Medifu, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Fear the bird, chat. Fear the bird. So, pretty good curve here for us. We'll get to Bank Spell Mana this turn, play Kench this turn, and then on our next turn we'll play Ashe. She'll make something frozen, then Kench can eat it.
There's always room for supper. Appetizers of plenty.
That's a good one to have bigger too, huh?
All the world on one arrow.
So we have a backup Ashe here as well, which is nice. Huh. I feel like the opponent could have got us here. Like, I feel like with this play... Do I attack still? I probably do attack here, huh? Like, I feel like this exchange is fine for us, right?
Swiftly now.
Feel like we came out on top there?
Tread carefully.
The time is right. Strike now.
What did we catch?
I think the opponent could have been worried about me passing back there. Could have been what they were afraid of.
Line up.
Yep, this is one of the more powerful cards in their archetype. Lets them keep the flow of cards constantly going. I'm just passing here. If they want to pass back and burn one of my mana, that's fine with me.
I'll do it myself. The time is right. Strike now.
Ashe is at 3 out of 5 here. You could technically level her this turn, huh? That's a nice one. Huh?
As the arrow flies.
Over there.
I'll lead us to victory.
I think this is a good exchange for us. Yeah, definitely like it is. So the primary holdup on hosting Runeterra tournaments like we did for Magic is having a tournament client or a website like MTG Melee that we can host them through. So if we get a way to easily host third-party tournaments in Runeterra, I definitely plan to hold Hoaglandia Opens with some frequency for this game.
Through the ice.
If they're out there, I'll spawn.
I enjoyed putting those on for Magic.
Faster than my arrow? I think not.
You can see the Demacian border from here. Will no one listen?
Show me a target.
Look out there! For the homestead. Ready the torches. Look out for reavers.
I guess if I wasn't eating...
For reavers.
Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to flash freeze this and trade these here. Can go either way on that. Busy Dragon, thank you for the absurdly generous tier 3. And for the 35 months at that, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around.
Light the signal fires.
Yeah, so Runeterra is 100% getting an official tournament mode for people that aren't familiar. It's going to be used for the seasonal tournaments that are coming up at the beginning of December. And they eventually intend to extend that tournament mode support to third parties as well, like myself. So they don't have a timeline on how soon they're going to have it for third parties, but that is something that on their roadmap that they are considering doing. I think in general, Howling Abyss is a very reasonable Runeterra card. I think with the printing of Feel the Rush, it has a little bit more competition. Is part of its problem. So I'm attacking with Ashe, so that way we can Frostbite here. I only have 8, 11, 12 attacks, so I think I want to clear out their board here. Yeah, like it is. You should check out Mobilytics. So if you check out my decks page here, they have a meta tier list. Swimstream also has a meta list that he usually updates pretty consistently. So yeah, because I don't have lethal there, I think I want to just like try and keep their board in check. If they have us a Johnny here, we're gonna be in a little bit of trouble.
From the savage cold.
Super unfortunate. Looks like they have Reckoning. Can you explain why you think they have Reckoning? None of their plays have signified Reckoning. They just saved their one big card. That doesn't signify they have Reckoning.
Bring me the calm of an ice-shrouded world.
Watch, learn.
Stand and fight!
I'm gonna block to play around Fury in the north and Noxian Fervor.
Continue without me.
I deal in coins and carnage.
Venturek, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Atlantia.
Veins.
Is that a good draw?
Faster than my arrow.
If so, why? Please explain.
Line up. Swiftly now.
You want me to pulse edge with Ashe so they can't block with that? That's probably reasonable. This is a pretty good trade-off for us, huh? Isn't too huge of a deal.
Sharpen the blade.
We still have Rhyme Tusk, so their Sajani is gonna lose her attack next turn.
The frost reveals all to me.
Oh no, because it is 3 toughness. Crap. Don't open attacks. Don't open attacks. Don't open attacks.
Avarosa, guide me. All the world on one arrow.
Locked and ready. Many tribes under one banner.
I'll cut them apart. Face me.
So they have Crystal Arrow on top of their deck here.
Myself. As the arrow flies.
Stay back.
I think we're probably dead here.
Cold.
Hey, Factor Fiction, thank you for the brand new Prime support. I really appreciate that. Welcome, welcome.
Ice runs in our veins.
So I have to open on attacks because this is a Crystal Arrow from their Ashe leveling.
I was judged.
If I end the round, I'm dead to their open attacks, right? This'll Frostbite here, they open on these, so I need to play this out.
Winter take you.
The frost reveals all to me.
Imagine if this was Feel the Rush here. I think there's a good chance this is just worse than Feel the Rush's top end. Perhaps should have swapped this out. Yeah, like if we had a 10-10 Kench and Ashe here. That's game 1, right? Alright, so their deck is done. They can't play that one again, and now I can play either of these. I'm gonna start with Ashe Kench. We have to now beat their Scouts deck with both of these decks. This is the only deck they can play. Yeah, we almost got through 3 Trifarians, but just a little bit too much card advantage to overcome. Yeah, so in general, I put Howling Abyss in the deck to give us a way to grind against, like, the Shadow Isle control decks. But it's definitely much worse than... It's definitely much worse than some of the other cards you can play against aggro. I'd like to attempt to eat your protege. And even if they have, like, a sharp sight here to save this, it still doesn't kill my wolf, which is great. Yeah, deal. Then I get to go Ice Veil, ice this.
A true Freljordian welcome. Arrows at the ready.
So fun fact. When we flash freeze this, the wolf still kills it through the barrier, because it's still striking a 0 power thing. Ice, ice, baby. Great.
Save the homestead. Break their spirits and their swords. You call this hardly fair.
It's unfortunate.
Get bloody, get paid.
Yeah, our goal here to start is basically we want to keep their board clear while we make it to playing this Howling Abyss. Then the advantage from Howling Abyss can take over in the long term, drawing an extra card each turn.
Demacian needs heroes.
Is our goal.
So take the chill off.
Just like hunting thresher bees.
Let's talk about your tag.
Spell mana does not cast landmarks, no.
You'll pay.
So we'll get to drop this next turn. So this has to hold the board for a turn, and then Howling Abyss gets to go to work. So we need to dodge like Misfortune plus a Challenger here. Would be one of their best sequences. I think I just do this and like take a hit for the turn and then try and use this to get in the game.
Symbol worth fighting for.
Set sail.
I think we just take 5. Why do we speak their best drive to existence? Fair criticism.
I rarely forget, I never forgive. For the glory of Demacia, I'll show him pain. Hit them all!
Yeah, like we have Gangplank here, and like we're at a high enough life total they hopefully can't punk us out from here. And we have this this harsh wind to not be super dead to like open attacks next turn.
Defend our banner.
Quinn levels on 2 more here.
So long, fortune.
Not as good as Teemo, obviously. we did manage to dodge the Teemo,
Worth
please.
fighting for.
Yeah, this is looking good for us from here. Again, we get to draw 2 cards per turn now, and we know one of those draws is always going to be good, basically.
I'll defend these forests to the end.
We will defend them to the end.
Harsh Wind's about to be real good. Once we play this Ashe, this Babbling Bird draws us a Frostbite, which is lovely. Red Rover, let the scouts come on over. Wonder if they'll attack Quinn and hook the Powder Keg here.
Fall to our standard.
Still heart, steady aim.
So she is gonna level when she attacks here.
In the name of our land.
Oh, they're not attacking with her because she'll die. Yeah, that's good for us.
Fly swiftly, kill swiftly.
Am I just taking this hit? I think I'm just taking this hit, right?
Barrel.
It was right on my tail.
It was right on my tail. Oh, they could have hooked the keg with Quinn. That's a good catch. We could trigger Jinx to get a rocket. I think I'd rather play some stuff out though.
I'll write my own story.
The bones a splinter. Line them up.
So they have 2 free blocks here because they're dying anyways.
Shield up.
Thankfully these have Overwhelm. So I imagine these 2 are going to go in front of these 2.
I'm ready.
And then we can Troll Chant here to save Gangplank. Keep him going.
You shall go no farther.
Yeah, I feel like it's worth noting, like, had this been Feel the Rush, it also would have been very good, though, right? Like, there's a good chance that, like, 10-10, Kench and Ashe probably kills them.
Cowards.
Not as good. I think it would have been fine.
All me. And maybe those other guys.
Like, rolling what's-his-name on the first hit there. Rolling Gangplank to start was very, very fortunate. And then we each have, so deck got banned, decks won games. We each have 1 deck left to play. Zazu, thank you for 21 months of Prime support. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Speaking of feeling the rush, easy mulligan, chat. Do I want to keep Teemo in my opener? I feel like the answer is no. I'm gonna go 1-2 with these, and I want to be trading on the board early. Having shots to draw things like removal is good. Obviously, having feel the rush to start here is not great, but it is what it is. I think I still just want to Hawk on 1 here, even with Teemo.
Charge.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, I think I'm going 2 extras. I'm gonna try a couple feel the rush at the top end.
You can see the Demacian border from here.
Never forget, chat, the shuffler is as rigged as the earth is flat. Sportista, thank you for the new follow. Welcome to Hopelandia.
Whoa! Hey!
Welcome to everybody hang out this afternoon. Awesome to see 400 people in here. Runeterra is great, and I hope it succeeds.
Break their spirits
And their souls. I think I'm okay with them doing this with the Mystic Shot here. Yeah, this is another game where we're basically the control deck in this game until we can stick this and try and kill them.
Reporting in.
Deal? What's our best draw next turn? Plunderwolf? Plunderwolf for sure.
Alright, let's mess some folks up.
That is true. The fact that we are at evens feels a little bit bad. That being said, if we find Plunderwolf, being on evens ends up being beneficial, so it's not that could still work out to be a little different.
Nothing gets between me and my mark.
How greedy is it to keep Feel the Rush with this Rum Edge? I feel like it's our way to win the game, right? I think it's the game plan. Yeah, I think I want to rummage these two. See what we get.
Just like hunting thresher geese.
Ah, ha, ha, ha. Staying alive. Staying alive. So again, we cast this on 9 total mana, so that's 3 turns from now. Still a ways to go.
Beauty in the blade.
That's not a terrible pickup. I do think we had a comment earlier that perhaps I should consider splitting the Feel the Rushes 2-2 with Progress Day. I think that might be a good idea overall. Being able to Progress Day much sooner definitely feels reasonable. Those are some decent draws. You're not wrong.
Raise the banner. Lift our spirits.
Am I troll chanting this turn? The answer is no.
Still see far and clear.
Oh, right. These have scouts still. Are we dead? I think we might be dead, huh?
Harry, riposte. You are hardly fair. Light the signal fires.
Yep.
For this fight?
Super dead. Right, that was one we had to give to, right? Yeah, sweet. So if we win the next 2, we still get our prime glory for the week, which is nice. Putting our losses at the right spots. Dude Emmett, thanks for the follow. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Ban their Kench deck. They take an extra turn. They took an extra combat step. What are people playing more than 2 champs in this format? It is, the gauntlets do not have MMR-based matchmaking. So there's, like, a chance that your opponents are much lower ranks than, like, where we are in Diamond. The gauntlets are also free to play. So there's not really a disincentive from trying, even if you don't have a full collection or competitive decks. And one of the things that's nice about Runeterra as a game is because there aren't a ton of bad draft chaff cards in this game, even decks that are kind of more random assortments of cards can still be reasonably competitive. I'm gonna look at these, looking for some bottom end tour curve here. You still rank in gauntlets? No, that's what I just said. There's an increase to 3+ champion decks even at high levels. That's just like not true at all.
I'm something of an aspiring trichologist.
There are a very limited number of reasons to play more than 2 champions and not be strictly at a competitive disadvantage, but they're more the exception than the rule for sure.
Sunlight guide you, my brethren.
Take the meteor shower here. This kills both their champions. Yeah, Elise plus Twisted Fate plus Gangplank is about it for filling out curve purposes. Gimpaz, thanks for the brand new Prime support. I really appreciate that. Welcome to Oglandia. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. I appreciate it. Shuffle 4 copies of the supported ally into your deck. That's cute. Yeah, those edge cases like those are reasonable. But again, like, it's important to acknowledge, like, those are definitely the exception, not the rule, right? Are there decks without champions? There have been decks in the past that have been competitive while playing 0 champions. They are also more the exception than the rule, though.
Burn in me.
When someone says something is generally the case, that's a good indicator that you shouldn't pipe up and be like, actually, Jeff, there's this edge case. It's like, yeah, the edge case exists, but that's what edge cases are.
Blessed daylight surrounds you.
Usually careful to use language that measures precision appropriately. It's fine. Sure.
We'll bring peace to Ionia, whatever the cost.
So, I think we play Shield Bearer here, and then just plan to single combat these. With her 4 temporary extra toughness. And I could have okay open attacks, but I think I want to play Shyvana and get an attack in with her as well. Even if they deploy something big, I have a sharp sight as a combat trick, so I have a couple of sharp sights as combat tricks.
The Dragon God.
We are your people, Anna, and you ours.
It's a rather stunning turn of events.
To the sun!
Witness glory.
I think I'm fine just trading these. Put them to 11 here. Your finest random dragons, please. Concerted Strike will help level up Shyvana very quickly. If you draw a card, give it fleeting, create an exact copy of it. This dragon's fine. It's a perfectly appropriate rate. Scout means we're gonna get to level this for sure this turn, right? Most likely. That's cute. So they're gonna change it into a copy of this. Maybe I'm supposed to Concerted Strike there.
Where there is life,
Yeah, honestly, like it is, like, it just, everything I've always wished other card games would do, Runeterra just, like, does all of them, and it's really, really wonderful to see.
There are none like me.
Concerted Strike and single combats and stuff like that, I think those really highlight one of the best ways to utilize Shyvana in my experience. Just being able to level her consistently without putting a bunch of bad expensive dragons in your deck feels really good consistently. Caker, thank you for the 15 months of Prime support. I really appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Duez, thank you for the brand new follow. I appreciate that. Alright, it's their control deck. I'm gonna keep this. They had some random things. I'm gonna mulligan the Mystic Shot and the Static, I think. Looking for an Elusive to go with this. That is on their roadmap, extras, or on their intended things to get to. So their first step is rolling out a generic tournament mode that they can run stuff with for the seasonal tournaments, and then they said they plan to extend that to third parties eventually as well.
Armed and ready.
Runeterra has a spectator mode in the client currently already, Quarth. And I believe they're planning to use it as, they said they're planning to use it as spectator for the upcoming tournament as well.
You can see the Demacian border from here.
Maybe I'm supposed to play this to get the trigger down sooner. If we're really lucky, Teemo's good with Wolf Rider for multiple reasons.
There was a little fella asking for me.
Because if we draw a mushroom, or they draw a mushroom next turn, we get to trigger Plunder for Wolf Rider on a turn we didn't have the attack token, which is really good. Nailed it. Yeah, that looks good as in tough.
Oh, if mushrooms could talk.
We do get that question a lot from folks that are familiar with the Magic tournaments that I've run in the past.
Would a mushroom help? I've always been a fun guy.
Sure.
We feast tonight, Varg.
Picked up for that game against Scouts? Yeah, right?
Rip their flesh!
Look out for Reavers.
Thanks, you. Congrats on your gauntlet run.
Leave your bags in the door.
Oh, you know what? This actually is probably bad to play out, because now I don't have bench space. That's actually bad, right? So I don't have bench space for Field Rush.
I could use two of me. Armed and ready.
You don't have clearance.
I'm a peddler, not a meddler.
Not a meddler. So we probably should have killed them this turn. I guess they could have had deny this turn.
Alert the village.
This isn't strictly wrong, but it's probably not ideal.
We'll bring peace to
I mean, to be in our defense, we got run over by scouts in 2 different matches. In games that were close, where like things broke, unfortunate for us at key variant spots. Again, focusing on just the exact record of the deck that you're playing really doesn't tell the whole story. The details of what happens in those matchups and why your record is what it is tends to be very important. $26 buff caps and 34 cards into 3 ball. Pretty lucky.
These are dangerous lands.
Put on me mask, secure me tail, start the day.
Jump up with the eternally valid pandemic advice. Put on your mask, secure your tail, start your day, chat.
Vandal Scout never.
There they go.
Nothing like the great outdoors.
Upgrade. Will they let you swap out your Teemo for a bigger Teemo?
Pay dirt.
Alright. We'll see if we are the weakest link or not next turn, or if we get to resolve this Field Rush. Opponent is also going to average 1 puff cap per card drawn for the rest of the game, which is nice. Their karma is getting close to leveling here. We are running solidly above average in the puff cap department. They are in fact playing deny. I assume this is gonna jump here.
Take time to care for others.
Recalling before they can gain life is an interesting choice. We are unfortunately going to be 1 mana short of playing a second Field Rush this turn.
Heart and mind as one.
They cannot strike what they cannot see.
Why attack with the lethal 3/3? Because they had a 2/4. Is that a good draw, chat? If so, why? Please explain.
The advantage is mine.
You spoil the surprise?
Cease.
Yeah, clap forcing deny on is great for us.
My pretty.
So they need to have the third deny. I suppose they could technically have more than 3 if they got fortunate with Karma Generation, but... Yep, them some blockers. Opponent is scuttlebutting around, chat. Okay. Yeah. There are a lot of mushrooms in this game. Morning insanity, afternoon, whatever time of day it is. Okay, they could have something that, like, recalls things here. Or something that, like, stuns both my things. Ezreal's only at 1 out of 6. Rough. They've not had a lot of things for us to target this game. Okay. What was your brilliance flash? That'll do, Timo. That'll do.
Light the signal fire.
Yeah, we technically could have done that, Steric. Technically could check and see how many pump gaps were between them.
Victory was the mushrooms we planted along the way.
Is my Twitch bugged? My viewer count has been at exactly 402 for like the last half hour. And I feel like it's incredibly unlikely that we just like haven't moved. You see 419? It must be bugged on my end. Okay. I appreciate you, chat. Howdy, Lactin. Well, this deck's just been messing us up today, so we should ban it on principle, right? I mean, the Go Hard Twisted Fate deck, yeah, this deck's also a tiered archetype. ModView also says there's only 2 active mods, which we all know is a lie. Yeah, sounds like Twitch is having some issues. Mulligan the Static Shock. Keep the rest of these, I think. Thermo Beam kills an Elise, which is nice. I mean, this archetype's usually this is like a mid-range control deck. And Leona Diana tends to be a mid-range deck. Alright, now it says 430. Twitch wants to cut up.
There's nothing to fear.
I want to play this. I feel like the answer is no. Our hand is fine. Elise is like pretty good against our hand at the moment.
Don't blink or you'll miss me. I don't miss. Nailed it. Firing.
We just mark a little damage on here so we can slip in a cheap beam, or if we draw a Static Shock, like the one we mulligan to start. So I mentioned there's no MMR-based matchmaking in these gauntlets, but one thing to note is that there is record-based matchmaking, essentially. So your 4-win thing is, your 4-win game is against someone else who's also going for 4 wins, which is nice. I think we kill Elise before they attack here. So, for those that are new to the channel, the sub counter in the corner isn't necessarily a goal to hit or that we're working towards something so much as this is the number of subs I need to have for this to be my job. For people that are new to the channel, I've been streaming full time for a while now, going on close to 3 years. But before Runeterra, I did primarily Magic the Gathering. So I am attempting to branch. It's a waterline's a better descriptor. So I'm attempting to transition to doing primarily Runeterra content. But if I'm unable to stay above that threshold, I'll probably have to. Not even probably. If I can't stay above that threshold, I will move back in the direction of doing more Magic stuff.
One shot, all skill.
Start by attacking here. If we hit them with this, we get Wolf Rider, which is nice. This is probably gonna die, but that's whatever. Star, thank you for the Prime support. I really appreciate that. I wouldn't be here without the support of folks like you, so thanks for keeping me around. Runeterra is a lot of fun. It is, as someone who spent a ton of time playing a lot of card games, this card game does more right than any other game I've ever played. I think Riot has a great product here, and I'm excited to see how they transform it more. Do I like Runeterra more than Magic? Well, to put it into context, to tell you how much more I like Runeterra than Magic, to give you background into my personal metrics, under Magic, I average 2,600 Twitch subscribers per month. So I've elected to take a pay cut to play a game that I enjoy more, because I think at its core, Runeterra is a much better game than Magic, and Riot as a company manages their game much better than Wizards of the Coast manages their game. I think Runeterra has a lot of room to grow, and I wanna give a chance to help it grow. Why do I like Magic Runeterra more at its core? Is it YLOR? There's a video. There's a quick, like, sub 10-minute YouTube video that hits the bullet points of the things I love about this game. Thanks for the sub gift, Elfanda. I appreciate it. So we're at 7 mana currently. So we're 2 turns off of field rushing.
We could use a bite.
I'm gonna go ahead and trade this here. I am not gonna block Ezreal into the spider here against their Go Hard deck. We'll kill this spider with the Mystic Shot next turn. I think we're playing this out pre-combat, right?
2, 3, 4.
Packed 'em good.
And then I think we actually want to hook this keg, because if I don't hook this keg, a Go Hard can kill one of these post-combat. Ephemeral, thank you for the 1.5 years of support. Really appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around.
Yep, hey, I talk to spirits.
Yeah, Make It Rain is not usually a card that they play.
Charge!
Can you feel it, chat? There's something in the air tonight. What's up, dude? You may watch educational shows, yes. Okay. Declan got in trouble this morning. So he was banished from watching shows of his choosing. What did he do? I mean, they battled digitally. He blew up the house Jacob had been working on in Minecraft after being explicitly told several moments prior to not do explicitly that. This is some real New World misbehaving. Yep. It's like when my brother erased my save content on Pokemon on the Game Boy when we were kids. To be fair, erasing Pokemon save content's even worse. Declan TNT's things that he's not supposed to TNT in Minecraft with some consistency, which is the first couple of times it happened, he didn't get grounded for it, but this was like the nth time it's happened, so I felt I had to give him some actual repercussions. Alright, so our Dragons deck just has to beat one of their 2 remaining decks to get our Prime Glory here. Thanks everybody for hanging out this afternoon while we're battling for Prime Glory. We're gonna do another, so for people that aren't familiar, we can only get 1 Prime Glory per week. But we are going to do another gauntlet run after this with a different lineup of 3 decks because I like this format a lot. If you want to mulligan these, we'll keep the Leona with the other Daybreak card. Well, I guess that's not strictly true. We're going to repeat one of the decks. This deck, Leona Shyvana, is also in the second run we're going to do. This hand is kind of awkward to start, but the opponent's deck, sans them having a leash, their deck's not usually super aggressive. Although, Jagged Butcher could be scary. Was really hoping to draw one of our many 1 or 2 mana units this game. Not having any of those to start feels real bad. Right on time, Dragon Guard Lieutenant. Welcome to the party. Yeah, I agree, Mecca. This is definitely one of my favorite decks in the format right now. Easy Meteor Shower here. Having tools to kill Twisted Fate consistently is very important. I think we're just gonna play Leona out for board presence. You could argue that Leona makes the Rockin' World go round, so she's good at stabilizing a board.
The sun's splendor revealed.
I know what lurks in the shadows.
You poor thing.
We'll see if the open attacks here, or if it's always sunny is going to come down. Yeah, the open attacks isn't unreasonable. They probably expect us to block here and then are going to line up a go hard to kill this. We have sharp sight to prevent that though. Shyvana is a great pickup here because she enables Dragon Guard Lieutenant to have Challenger next turn, which is nice. That's rough. So I've been streaming Runeterra with some consistency since June when I first started playing it. I stopped doing Magic the Gathering content altogether at the start of October, though.
Fire and fury burn in me.
I would like it if just some form of pick ban at least ended up with a permanent queue. Like I don't know that I necessarily need best of 3 to have a permanent queue, but like even if we could just do best of 1 pick ban, that would be great. Like Runeterra's current format is very varied and interesting, even in the normal best of 1 format, but I think it's pretty average that even in good formats like this, there's still decks that people have different preferences on what they do and don't like playing against. And I think the pick ban format is a really elegant way to give people control over their own destiny, right? So like, if you hate Lee Sin, or if you hate War Mother's control, or if you hate whatever archetype you really prefer not to play against, you can control never having to play against that in the pick ban format. Yeah, Ashe Kench, exactly. And then this will level Leona, so she's no longer dead to a... She's no longer dead to another go hard. Although they might have packed their bags ready. Sure, yeah, Fiora. I think, and again, like, I don't think it means Runeterra is not balanced, but they're just like personal preference, like that's a real thing. I think I'm just taking the pass here. I tried, Octi. I've been trying to pseudo clickbait the titles on the what's it called? The highlight videos for sure. Michael, Buns and Roses is a great name. And Chippa, thanks for the new follows. Welcome to Hooglandia. Do I open attacks to play around them having go hard? Probably. On the other hand, I'm at 9, and we're probably just dead to it anyways.
Look lively, soldier.
Alright. Kill me.
Blessed daylight surrounds you. Glorious light rains down.
I'm sure that emoticon means that we're about to get deal 5, but... Oh, huh? Either of these Leona? They're not. I think I want to just deny them their draw 2 here. Really wishing, the way my draws ended up this game, I wish that I wouldn't have taken this and I would have taken a, threat.
Chosen of the sun.
Keep up, keep up. Through the coral.
Try to leave a dent.
There's plenty of killing left.
Yep. We dodged dying to that at least for now. Set, thank you for the very generous tier, Teresa, but I appreciate the 14 months. Welcome back. Najo Mage, thanks for the 23. Good afternoon, folks.
Raise your weapon, Sunwood.
Where do you stand on cold shots?
Stronger than not dead yet, camp. Accurate.
Devotion to battle.
Accurate. Accurate statement is accurate. And I have 12 mana here, so I can do this and these other things.
Daylight everlasting.
Solari control all that her warmth touches.
All that her warmth touches. We're about to die to another one of these, huh? That's fine. This is only game 2, so they're done with this deck, and they have to play their remaining third deck against our Dragon's deck now. It's a close game. So they have their Targon deck versus our Dragon's deck. Oh, I'd already picked it. Got it. I was like, that's a... We're moving up in the world, chat. My Twitch is now bugged, showing me locked at 430 viewers, which is higher than the 402 viewers it was previously bugged and locked at. Poor Twitch. I'm gonna mulligan the Egghead Researcher. I think I'm gonna keep the Combat Trick and these other cards. It's good to help us control the board. We're attacking on even, which makes us a little bit worse, but I think it's still a reasonable unit to keep. Perfect.
My faith
What have we been averaging these days? For Runeterra, we average about 350. For Variety, we average about 125 to 150.
Devotion through battle! You cannot sway me.
Pass for now. I think that's okay for us if they want to do that. Oh, I should get rid of that. I should get rid of the vote games things. It's not something I ended up doing anymore. It's a failed experiment. I forgot that I had the what's it called up there? Channel point thing for that. I've not wrestling. Thank you for the 21 months. Yeah, I wonder. I'd be curious to see how many more Twitch turbos they've sold since they cranked up. They cranked up the ads on channels.
Our strength is forever at its zenith.
I am the bulwark against darkness!
Well, I don't even know that they cranked up ads so much as they just stopped ad blockers from working in most places.
Devotion through battle.
That's what they did. Yeah, that's actually what they did. They just stopped ad blockers from work from being abusable. So this almost levels her. Attack with everything to start. I'm gonna bait this block over here so they maybe leave this alone. Yeah, Twitch Turbo disables ads on all channels, like Twitch Prime used to. Kennesaur, thanks for the brand new follow. I appreciate that. Welcome to Oglandia.
Face my shield.
Hush on their own thing is rough. That wasn't something I was thinking about playing around. Maybe I should have been.
No remorse.
You're supposed to hold Shyvana back there.
But sun and moon are ever linked.
That is true. That's actually it's different than being subbed to the channel, because if you're subbed to a channel, you don't get an ad played at all, but it doesn't count as you being played as an ad. Whereas if you have Twitch Turbo and a creator plays an ad, they still get paid for that ad like you watched it, which is a relevant distinction.
Behold the sun's holy light.
So I think I start with Concerted Strike on here, so I can hold up Hush. Because it's always sunny in Runeterra, so I can play this and look at the trigger. I think I'm taking this as a piece of hard removal here. How much is Turbo now? I thought they discontinued it. No, it's always existed. So I could do this, and then I could do Morning Light. Sounds pretty good. It's gonna draw me a lot of cards.
Bask in her radiant blessing.
Because this triggers all my Daybreak effects. I guess this lets them stun that. Is this still worth doing this? Or would I rather just Warrior this turn now? This draws me 3 cards. It double invokes plus draws a random here. That's probably worthwhile. Gives me okay attacks too still, even without this. Nelthea, thank you for the follow. Welcome to Oglandia.
Know your path.
For folks that are new to the channel, I stream full-time here. I do about half my content's Runeterra stuff. The other half is single-player, story-driven variety stuff. I do a little bit of Runeterra 5 to 6 days a week, usually about 3 to 4 hours each day. Also have a YouTube channel where I post highlights every single day that are sub 30-minute videos of some of the best decks that I've played that week. How's the gauntlet been going? This is the final, this is game 3 for the 4th win. That's true, it does also heal our dragon. This has been a long gauntlet. We've been playing it for over 2 hours now. We took the maximum number of losses you can take in a gauntlet this set. So it's been a long run.
Behold the sun's holy light.
If we get our prime glory again, we're gonna have taken the long way around to get it.
To shine like the sun, you must burn like it. Daylight breaks on the battlefield.
Our dragon really needs a pair of sunglasses. Instead of tagging a full stream playthrough as a deck of the day Fuzzy Jello, I post a highlight each day now.
Young Atreus, was it?
I have so much more than any human.
Was that a good random generation, chat? If so, why? Please let me know in chat below.
Splendor revealed.
This deck that we're playing has a sneaky amount of card advantage in it. Like it doesn't look like it, but we draw a lot of cards.
Sunlight burns in our weapons.
We do technically overdraw here. They just did the Braum emote. Are they about to play like the deal? Are they about to play the deal 15 to our board or something? Or was that their dead wave? Hopefully the latter. If the skies are about to descend, we're gonna be real sad. Holy shit, they're playing the skies descend. Good lord. There aren't any dragons in their deck! Oh, that's brutal. I know, but like this is so slow to get to Celestials. No, they're just playing that.
Young Atreus, was it?
I have so much more than any human. I might die weakly.
I mean, we're not dead here. Yeah, we're at 20, and I have this, and I have a Concerted Strike, so, like, the game's not over. We're just, like, not winning anymore. We're just not killing them this turn. We just went from ahead to behind. Yeah, Comet is slow, though. This is a big deal. Yeah, our life total is high enough that we can hopefully make up for the card advantage that they've created here.
Unyielding light. Chosen of the moon. Chosen of cowards and blasphemers.
If I play this out, I can still Concerted Strike this turn, so I think that's the play. I want to add to the board and still play this card, basically.
Night descends. Face your heretic.
Yeah, maybe we just Hush Diana. I don't hate that. I can Hush Diana and then play Traveler. Yeah, I think I'm into that. Yeah, I think it's Serpent. Resource efficiency is most important here. We have plenty of cards in our hand. Yeah, killing their 5/2 is good here for 0 mana. That's fantastic.
Ours is the one true light.
And I think we're playing Eclipse Dragon this turn. They have Pale Cascade, I could get into trouble here, but I don't think I can play around that. You want to Concerted the 6/6 and then Comet? I mean, I have 12 mana, right? So I'm much better off just playing this second Eclipse Dragon and then Concerted Striking with that one. So that way this one can get Fury. That's like kind of worse against another piece of removal, I guess. Like, yeah, I think I'd rather get the dragon down. No, I want this to get the Fury. If they have something to answer this, I'm dead anyways. So I should definitely take the value on the Fury. Yeah, this might be game winning. What an insane game.
And here's where I'd paint my constellation.
The messenger chases stars from the sky.
Remember when they cast Plague Wind? This game convinced me to re-download Runeterra. This game is excellent. Really, really well done. Holy crap, that was incredible. Bunch of new follows. Nikki the Great, I Nudes, LOL's Hapspat, Varian Blade, Nethra. Welcome to Hoaglandia. Okay, so I want to make it very clear that I did not make this rule, but because you were here for me achieving Prime Glory on stream, if you currently have an unused Twitch Prime sub, you are now contractually obligated to spend your Prime sub on this channel this month. So I just want to make it clear that that was not a rule that I have created, but it is one that you should hold the standard to. That was a lot of fun. We took the long way around. We took the maximum amount of losses in that gauntlet. Brag LOL, thank you for the brand new Prime. I appreciate it. Relinor, thank you for the 10 months. That was, yeah, it was a really good set. This is one of my favorite decks in Runeterra right now. If you haven't seen this deck before, by the way, if you're a new viewer, I have a website where I keep a list of off-meta decks that I think are both fun and competitive. There's a current deck list that I keep up to date there with deck codes, as well as highlight videos of me playing them. And this is one of the almost a dozen decks that are up there. I think that last game was such a phenomenal example of why this deck is sweet. I like that it has an aggressive slant at the bottom end of its curve, which also allows you to defend against opposing aggressive decks. And then just how we ground through their Descent of the Skies and all of their removal and all these other things on the back of, Daylight and Solari Priestess and Dragon's Clutch is drawing us 2 cards. Like, all of that really added up. Yeah, if you want my full list of decks, they are all up on my Wobalytics page. We are done with that Gauntlet run, but I love the Gauntlet format. Thank you for the gift subs, folks. I really appreciate that. And Lunar Chaos Dragon, thanks for the 10 months. I have 4 Prime Glories. Now, I missed the Prime Glories on the weeks it was Singleton. I have hit Prime Glory on all of the Pick Ban weeks. Pick Ban is definitely my favorite format in Runeterra. We're done